Schrader,
Here.
Hinderman, here, Pohl,
Here.
Bowden,
Here.
Andrews,
Here,
all present.
thank you. Proof of giving public meeting notice, Aaron.
Notices were posted at both schools, Central Hill and City Hall, and members of the media on Tuesday, May 16th.
Thank you. Item 3 is the board reorganization that we do every May. The first item is to elect officers, and for this, I'm going to appoint Megan as the temporary clerk to conduct the elections, please.
Right, so for the first position, we have the president. Are there any nominations?
I will move to appoint Gary Andrews to serve as Cuba City School Board President.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Mueller,
Yes.
White,
Yes.
Schrader,
Yes.
Hinderman, yes, Pohl,
Yes.
Bowden,
Yes.
Andrews. Well, abstain.
Abstain.
Motion carried. Congratulations, Gary.
Thank you.
All right, for the position of vice president, are there any nominations?
I will move to appoint Dan Bowden.
I'll second.
Mueller,
Yes.
White,
Yes.
Schrader,
Yes.
Hinderman, yes, Pohl,
Yes.
Bowden,
Abstain.
sorry, old habits, Andrews.
Yes.
Motion carried. Congratulations, Dan. Is there a nomination for the position of treasurer? I'll move to appoint Chuck Pohl to serve as Cuba City Board of Education treasurer.
I would second.
All right, Mueller,
Yes.
White,
Yes.
Schrader,
Yes.
Hinderman, yes, Bowden,
Yes.
Andrews.
Yes.
Motion carried. Congratulations, Chuck.
Thank you.
And are there any nominations for clerk?
I will move to appoint Megan Hinderman as the clerk of the Cuba City Board of Education.
I will second that.
Mueller,
Yes.
White,
Yes.
Schrader,
Yes.
Pohl,
Yes.
Bowden,
Yes.
Andrews.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Congratulations,
Go
Megan.
me. Do I continue with the CISA board? Right. Is there any interest in the position of serving on the CISA 3 board? Or a nomination thereof?
I'll move to appoint Gary Andrews to serve on the CISA 3 board. I'll second.
All right, Mueller,
Yes.
White,
Yes.
Schrader,
Yes.
Hinderman, yes, Pohl,
Yes.
Bowden,
Yes.
abstain. Congratulations, Gary.
Thank you.
Right, is there a nomination to serve on the WASB convention as the WASB convention representative? This is currently Dan.
Are you interested, Dan?
If I go, I mean, I'm not sure I'll be attending in January, but if I go, I would.
Are there any other people? I mean, obviously, as Dan would say, the best bang for the buck is if you physically go, where they vote on the actual resolutions put before the school board, the association. Hearing none, I will move to appoint Dan Bowden.
I will second. Mueller,
Yes.
White,
Yes.
Schrader,
Yes.
Hinderman, yes, Pohl,
Yes.
Andrews.
Yes.
Motion carried. Excuse me. Is there a motion to set the regular meetings to the third Wednesday of each month, beginning at 6:30? Are there any questions thereof?
Does that still work for everybody?
Does he?
Somebody make that motion then, please?
I will move to set the regular meetings on the third Wednesday of each month, beginning at 6:30 p.m.
I will second.
All right. Mueller,
Yes.
White,
Yes.
Schrader,
Yes.
Hinderman, yes, Pohl,
Yes.
Bowden,
Yes.
Andrews.
Yes.
Motion carried. The motion to designate the official depositories. I don't know if you want me to talk through. We typically pick the banks that service our community, all four in our communities of Dickeyville and Cuba City. Are there any questions?
I will move to designate Mountain City Bank of Cuba City, Midwest One Bank of Cuba City, Royal Bank of Dickeyville, and People's State Bank of Dickeyville as official depositories of the school district of Cuba City.
I will second. Mueller,
Yes.
White,
Yes.
Schrader,
Yes.
Hinderman, yes. Pohl,
Yes.
Bowden,
Yes.
Andrews.
Yes.
Motion carried. The motion to designate the Tri-County Press as the official newspaper of the school district. Are there any questions or comments?
I will move to designate the Tri-County Press as the official newspaper of the school district of Cuba City.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Mueller,
Yes.
White,
Yes.
Schrader,
Yes.
Hinderman, yes. Pohl,
Yes.
Bowden,
Yes.
Andrews.
Yes.
Motion carried. Next, we're on to committee membership, and there is in our agenda a printed list of who is on what committee, but I'll open it up if there's discussion or questions on it.
I did not receive any desired changes other than Dan's joining the personnel committee. So if everybody's okay with that, or if they're not, now's your time to say.
Otherwise, I will move to approve the Cuba City Board of Education committee assignments as presented.
I'll second.
Q. Mueller,
Yes.
White,
Yes.
Schrader,
Yes.
Hinderman, yes. Pohl,
Yes.
Bowden,
Yes.
Andrews.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you for doing that, Megan, and then I will take over for the rest of the meeting then. So item 4 is the consideration of the consent agenda. There are A through H items. If there are questions regarding one of those, we can pull it for further discussion. Otherwise, if they're agreed, somebody make that motion, please.
I'll move to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Is there a second? I'll second.
Mueller,
Yes.
White,
Yes.
Schrader,
Yes.
Hinderman, yes. Pohl,
Yes.
Bowden,
Yes.
Andrews.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Administrative reports, we'll start with Deb in special ed.
All right. The special ed department is finishing up evaluations and planning for the upcoming school year. This year, the special ed team conducted 82 initial entry evaluations. This is an increase of 21% from last year's 68 evaluations and an 82% increase over the past 2 school years in comparison to the 6 years prior where we averaged 45 evaluations per year. This is not unique to our district. This is happening all over. We have had a number of teaching assistants retire or move on in their careers. I would like to thank them for all of their hard work and here in the district and wish them well in life's next chapter for them. And the administrative team will be determining needs for next year and will most likely be posting for available positions in the near future. That's it.
Any questions of Deb?
Do I raise my hand or just say words?
Just ask.
All right. What are we doing to curb that number? Because that's very alarming. And I know it's not just Cuba City, but like, what are we going to do to?
Some of them are good referrals for students who are being dismissed from the program. So, I mean, we have to accept all evaluations when they come to us.
Yes, I just didn't know.
We have the leveled interventions in place, so, those do curb some of them. I was just wondering.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Alrighty. Troy?
We recently completed our spring book fair and reading challenge. The reading challenge was for the month of April. Students in 4K through 1, or grade 1, I should say, read 2,135 books. Students in grades 2 through 5 and staff read a total of 124 1,312 minutes. Overall, students and staff read 2,074 hours during our challenge. There may be some pictures out there of Mr. Krause's silly string. That was their reward if they read so many. It's amazing how excited they got about that. But big thank you to Mrs. Olson for both events. Tomorrow is our 6th annual Spring Fine Arts Program, grades 3 through 5. It will be held Thursday, May 18th at 2 p.m. in our gym. Showcases the music and art talents of our great students. All are welcome to attend with doors opening at 1:30 p.m. Thank you in advance to Mrs. Audetta and Mrs. Bodie for all their hard work. May 12th saw our first ever Wellness Day. Miss Olson, Miss Hook, and Miss Budin put together a Wellness Day for the students to focus on mental and physical health, and they did activities throughout the day. And of course, it rained a little bit, but it was a pretty exciting event. I'm hoping it'll become an annual event each May. And then also last Thursday, I believe, our 5th grade students did their annual wax museum, where they have to pick a significant figure in history, write a bio, write a speech, and then they actually present that night. And just like a wax museum, people must come and stick quarters in their cup, and then they go through and they read all their work that they did. And then they take the money that they earn and they decide to donate it to a charity of their choice. I believe I heard that may have been the Grant County Humane Society this year. So again, thank you to the Miss Glennon, Miss Davies, Miss Mern, who is our student teacher, and the entire 5th grade team. That's it.
Thank you, Troy. Any questions of him? All righty. Chris?
All right, it is May. Our middle school track and field wrapped up their regular season in Darlington last week, and we have approximately 18 students that qualified for the middle school state track meet, which will be held this Saturday, May 20th in Waupun. 8th grade students are working hard right now to prepare for their career fair, which is similar to the Wax Museum. They will be holding that on next Tuesday, May 23rd. Thank you to Angela Belkin for arranging to have Brian Kenny and Team Extreme come to the middle school on Monday, May 8th. Students competed in various team building activities and had lots of fun while learning how to work together. We had several students compete in the champion games in Boscoville this past Monday, May 15th. Thank you to Ms. Timmerman and the student council members who spent the day helping to run all of the races and activities. An additional note with this, I received a phone call that afternoon from a lady who was having lunch at Culver's and wanted to let me know that all of our students were showing exemplary behavior and were one of the most polite groups of students she'd ever seen. She was a retired teacher and felt that we don't always get the good calls, and so she wanted to pass that along.
Awesome.
Spring sports are all nearing the end of their seasons, preparing for tournament time. Baseball regionals begin on May 30th, softball regionals on May 18th, boys golf regionals on May 18th, track and field regionals begin on May 22nd. Good skill to all teams in their quest for a spot at state. FFA hosted its end of the year banquet at Banfield Swiss House on Sunday, April 30th. They also hosted a petting zoo on Friday, May 12th, which was a big hit with the elementary students. Ms. Van Skinda was also able to take a team of students to a trap shoot event up in Oregon, Wisconsin. On Saturday, May 6th, the junior class held a very successful prom with their theme of Under the Stars. An additional note on this one as well, Bob Viking was the DJ that was hired for prom and post-prom. Sent an email, this actually got it this morning, saying how he had done 11 proms this year, and ours was the most fun that he had had. He complimented on how well-behaved our students were and commented that they were so polite and enthusiastic. He was also impressed with the teaching staff that was supervising, as well as the parents that were supervising the post-prom. We had several juniors and seniors complete AP testing in the past few weeks, so thank you to Ms. Davis and Mr. Gates for organizing this. High School Band and Choir will be hosting their Fine Arts concert on Sunday, May 21st, and the Middle School Band and Choir will be hosting their final Fine Arts concert on Tuesday, May 23rd. There will be an art show for the high school, in the high school library for the high school on Friday, May 19th, and for middle school on Tuesday, May 23rd. In celebration of Teacher Appreciation Week, May 8th through the 12th, we had several special treats in celebration for our amazing educators. And finally, with the end of the year nearing, we've had several celebrations happening. The Swall Academic Banquet was held on Wednesday, April 26th in Boscobel. We hosted the Senior Athletic Banquet on Wednesday, May 10th. Baccalaureate is happening right now over at St. Rose Church. There is a classroom awards program for the high school planned for Wednesday, May 24th in the morning. And that same evening, we will host the Senior Scholarship Night. We're also preparing for the graduation ceremony, which will be held in the Jerry Pettigrew Gymnasium on Friday, May 26th. We got final exams set for Thursday, June 1st and Friday, June 2nd. 8th grade students will have a dance on the evening of June 1st, and middle school will have an awards ceremony on Friday, June 2nd, followed by a celebration at Splendor Park. And that's all.
You're sure?
I said it's May.
Thank you, Chris. Any questions of him?
Where are we at for competitive track team?
So Terry Curtis is interested in being a coach for that. It will be school affiliated or school sponsored, but not, it won't be something that we would actually put money to. We basically allow them to use our name and our students. And we had a meeting last year in January. The season starts in February. We have several students that currently, because we don't have a team, shoot for other districts. We've got a couple that shoot down in Shelburne, some that shoot in Benton, some that shoot over in Potosi, and even a couple of them in Southwestern. The TRAP organization for Wisconsin requires students, if they are living in that district, they have to shoot for that district if there's a team in that district's area or endorsed by. So because of the time frame that we were doing that, a lot of them start with a fall season, which isn't actually the initial beginning of the season, but they do that. And because of that, they have fundraisers going on. So a lot of our students, if we would have started our track team, they would have had to join our team, and they would have already done fundraising for another team. So at that meeting, it was agreed that we let everybody know that was there that night. We're starting it next year, February. So in February of 2024, we are going to be starting a trap team for Cuba City. Again, not necessarily school affiliated, but school endorsed. And Terry's going to run that. And that way, all of those parents that shoot in other districts know next year, don't do your fundraiser because you're going to be required by the state organization to shoot for Cuba City. So that's where we're at.
Will we have then, I guess my next question is, will we have a fundraising platform that will
And
start
that
in
is,
the fall?
that's completely up to the team. They did talk about doing some sort of fundraiser too, because they talk about they have to buy the clay pigeons in pallets, they buy ammunition in pallets. So there's a lot to it. And Terry is already organizing because he works with Potosi's right now. In fact, they would shoot at Potosi's because we don't have a spot. But Isaac Walton is like overloaded right now with a couple teams, so he felt that Potosi's would be able to host it. So yes, he is organizing.
Thank you.
Yep.
Heather, business report, please.
Sure. So a little update on the 22-23 budget. Just reflecting back on at the end of April, we were 84% through our fiscal year, and we've spent about 62% of our budget, which is in line with our spending according to last year. Update on Fund 46. In the month of April, we had revenues totaling $118,219.52. Our expenses were $118,047, and our balance at the end of the month was $10,447.93. Status update on the 23-24 budget. So I've gone through my first draft of the 8,000 line items of the budget. So I've completed that. And now I'm going back through and kind of combing through all of those revenue and expense lines and making adjustments as needed. And those adjustments will continue to happen from now until October. In other news, just continuing to submit claims on all of our grants and asking staff members that spend money in grant areas to get that money spent so that we can get that claimed out and so we can receive that revenue in this fiscal year. All certified staff have received their contracts. Letters of intent were delivered to non-certified staff members. Extra duty sheets were handed out to staff members, and extra duty pay will be put on the June 15th paycheck. And then as Deb kind of referenced, she kind of talked about some staff members retiring, resigning. So as we get those resignations and retirements, myself and Ashley Bonick, our payroll assistant, we are now very heavily involved with the new hire and exit process. So we're going through all of those checklists and conducting interviews and scheduling exit interviews and things of that nature. So and that's all I have.
Any questions, Heather? Thank you. Aaron, administrator report? Yep. Good news, and most of you were at that meeting, the special meeting of the electors at 6 o'clock tonight. The electors allowed us to use our Fund $46 to purchase the land off County H, so excited about that. In referendum news, the elementary school roof and parking lot, we're working on timelines, and we had a couple meetings today about those to get that organized because we've got a few different things going on this summer. Bid package number 1, which has a lot of the elementary stuff, but also some high school stuff in it that takes 9 or 10 months, will be in bid package number 1. That's going to go out next Tuesday. And there are some new images. Today we were able to see some really neat 3D images of different areas of the construction project. And I asked if we could get some of those because it would be really neat. She clicked forward and it just would walk you through the different areas. Apparently you need a special computer that has the software ribbon on it to see those. But that might be something that they come here and project on the screen eventually. But it was nice to see some new images as well. And then, as Chris already said, graduation is upcoming. All board members are always invited to come to graduation. That's all. Great, thank you. Alrighty, public recognition. Sarah, you wanted to speak.
I wasn't sure if Mr. Sander was gonna talk about the state middle school track, so I'm one of the middle school track coaches, Mr. Young, and I and Will Esser. And we are, like he said, taking 18 kids, 9 boys, 9 girls to the state track meet in Waupun on Saturday. And our boys 4x1 team is ranked like number 2 in the state for middle school track. So, and I wanted to give you some names to put with the, that's Carson Collins, Brad Rowe, Carter Rundy, and Braden Soppy. And then our 4x4 team also made it. That's the mile relay of Cam Gooler, Tucker Lang, Landon Leffelholtz, and Wyatt Yost. And Carter Rundy qualified in 4 events, actually. Long jump, 400, 200, and the 4x1. He's a very quick young man. And Brad Rowe qualified in the long jump. And Ben Adams qualified in the 100 and the 200. And Tucker Lang qualified in the mile. As far as girls go, our 4x2 team is also ranked really high in the state for the girls. And that is Emerson Niles, Elsie Sokachoff, Savannah Krieger, and Erica Dressler. And Savannah Krieger also qualified in the shot put. We have Bethany Doherty going in the long jump, triple jump, and 400. Brooke Terpstra in the triple jump and the high jump. Lizzie Anthony in the high jump. And Maya Miskey and Brooklyn Brewer in the discus. So, and I want to give a big shout out to Mr. Young because he put in a lot of time putting these entries in because they were not updating very regularly. But thanks.
Thank you,
Thank
Sarah,
you.
for helping out. Sometimes it's good to have both.
We'll take what we can get.
All right, new business. Item A is approve the date and time of the June regular board meeting.
I did not mention this before, but I will not do it.
That's why we always do, like every summer month, it's always
It's
like, okay, we're gonna have majority of people. So is it one person being gone? That happens from time to time. Anybody else gonna miss that June meeting that would require to be rescheduled? It's the 21st is what you got. Yes.
If no changes are asked for, then we can just move on. We don't have to act.
We'll just miss you.
All right. Enjoy wherever you're going.
Thank you.
Item B is grant diplomas for the high school class of 23.
Yep, these are our high school soon-to-be graduates who have met or anticipated to meet the graduation requirements. It also contains some foreign exchange students, and they actually receive a certificate of attendance. That's what we usually do for those students. So I recommend that we approve this exciting action item.
Right after Don turns off his flashlight that's blinding me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Just,
Oh, my goodness. You're already
I was being filmed or what?
playing with it.
I will make that motion to grant diplomas for the Cuba City High School class of 23.
I will second.
Mueller,
Yes.
White,
Yes.
Schrader,
Yes.
Kinderman, yes. Pohl,
Yes.
Bowden,
Yes.
Andrews.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Item C is approve the senior class trip to Great America, departing Saturday, May 20, and returning the next day.
Yes, they do. They depart late is it Saturday? or-
About 6:30, 7 o'clock Saturday night, and then they return at
Early
they leave at,
hours.
Yeah, 3 o'clock in the
Sunday
morning.
morning. So they're not staying overnight in hotels or anything, but it is an overnight trip, and they do this every year. It's a really fun trip for the kids, so I recommend it.
No sleep night.
I'll move to approve the senior class trip to Great America as presented.
I'll second.
Mueller,
Yes.
White,
Yes.
Schrader,
Yes.
Kinderman, yes. Pohl,
Yes.
Bowden,
Yes.
Andrews.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Item D is approve the 4-year technology service bid from TC Networks.
Yeah, looking at the two bids, one was considerably lower, and that happened to be the company that we currently work with, which is TC Networks. So my recommendation is that we continue our relationship with TC Networks as the lower bid and high-quality third-party service firms.
Are there any questions with that? If none, would someone move?
I'll move to approve the 4-year technology service bid from TC Network as presented.
Is there a second?
I will second.
Mueller,
Yes.
White,
Yes.
Schrader,
Yes.
Kinderman, yes. Pohl,
Yes.
Bowden,
Yes.
Andrews.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Item E is approve the list for the Cuba City School District focus group for new rebranding.
We have a full list. We have almost 50 names of people who have asked questions about it. We're like, that's a good question. Would you mind being on the community focus group for that? Really, when you form a group like this, you hope to get 15 or 20%. So we have a list of 50. Here's the list of 50. We might add to it if somebody else expressed interest and we think that they would add value to that list. But we wanted to at least show you the list of people that we're thinking about. Some have been contacted because they talked to us or we've talked to them, but that everyone on that list will be contacted to see if they're interested. We're assuming it's going to be maybe 3 different meetings throughout the summer. Right now, we only have 3 submissions, but the due date is Friday, and I believe we'll probably have a lot of student submissions the day it's due, which is Friday.
Just a clarifying question, if someone should hear about this and want to get involved, do they contact you?
They certainly can. Yep.
Or they
Ms.
can-
Burkett actually did a wonderful job promoting that out on our social media. So it's been, Dan put it in Tri-County Press. It's been pushed out on social. We talked about it at board meetings. So really just write a description of why you think this fits, make a little drawing, and give us your ideas.
Do you want that reposted as a reminder that's due? I was just going to
Wouldn't
suggest
hurt.
that. I think that'd
Sure.
be a good idea.
Yeah, maybe.
It's not just
maybe you can put
students
that
who
on
could use
announcements.
reminders on deadlines.
Okay. If there's no other questions, would somebody move to approve this list?
I'll move to approve the list of potential Cuba City School District Community Focus Group for rebranding as presented.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Mueller,
Yes.
White,
Yes.
Schrader,
Yes.
Kinderman, yes. Pohl,
Yes.
Bowden,
Yes.
Andrews.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Item F, we're skipping because it's not needed, because it was approved at the meeting in the gym. Item G then is needed to approve the land acquisition, a Mountain City Bank loan.
Mountain City Bank came in with the lowest percentage for the loan that allowed for early payment. And again, with at the end of the year, if we have anything that we would have put in either Fund 46 or carry over to fund balance, we think it would be a good idea to prepay some of that loan as well. So we were targeting two things. What's the interest rate, and are there any fees for prepayment? And looking at those two items, Mound City was the best of the three bids.
Any questions? Would someone move?
I'll move to approve Mound City Bank for land acquisition loan as presented.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
I hope you beat me. She beat you there.
It's a race.
Mueller,
Yes.
White,
Yes.
Schrader,
Yes.
Hinterman, yes. Pohl,
Yes.
Bowden,
Yes.
Andrews.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Then on to personnel, item A is approve the hiring of Mr. Tanner Sheevy as the new high school head boys basketball coach.
Yep, we haven't had this agenda item on the agenda since probably before they had published agendas. So Mr. Sheevy was interviewed by our group people. We had two different interview candidates, and Mr. Sheevy did a great job in his interview, has a really good vision for the future of the boys basketball program, and we are recommending that we approve this as a hire.
If there's no questions, would someone move?
I'll move to approve the hiring of Mr. Tanner Sheedy as the new CCHS head boys basketball coach as presented.
Is there a second?
I will second.
Mueller,
Yes.
White,
Yes.
Schrader,
Yes.
Hinterman, yes. Pohl,
Yes.
Bowden,
Yes.
Andrews.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Item B is approve the hiring of Ms. Tony Kettler as the high school Palms coach.
Yep, Ms. Kettler is a paraprofessional in our district, and she has been the assistant POMS coach for the last couple of years. And we recommend that she takes over as the head coach.
Would someone move?
Quick, will we get an assistant, or will she be doing it by herself?
Generally, that's by numbers, and I don't remember what number we used last time we approved her as an assistant.
Got it.
That's something that we look at.
Okay, thank you.
I'll move to approve the hiring of Miss Tony Kettler as CCHS Palms coach as presented.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Mueller,
Yes.
White,
Yes.
Schrader,
Yes.
Hinterman, yes. Pohl,
Yes.
Bowden,
Yes.
Andrews.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Budget and Finance Committee report. Is there anything that anyone wants to add to what we heard tonight? Alrighty. Building and Grounds, Chuck, anything you want to?
We have our meeting every other Wednesday for the referendum. It's going very well, but I do believe we should have a building and grounds meeting fairly quick.
Are there items that,
Yeah, we got the white pole lights.
Yep.
You know, we got some other things we probably should bring into effect, you know.
Ben has a couple things he's waiting on when he gets bids
Yeah.
back. He wants to have a meeting, so.
Yeah.
No dates on that yet, but it's soon.
All right. Sooner the better.
Personnel, looks like we will meet soon then, Aaron.
We're probably gonna meet early June.
Okay. Policy, probably won't meet again till October when the next Neola revision comes out. Technology and Transportation, Dan, anything that you know
I no longer sit on technology.
of? I didn't even pay any attention.
So Don would be the
That's
chair,
the
and
chair.
Don just found out that he was the chair.
I got nothing right now.
All right, I stand appropriately correct. Foundation, there'll be no meeting till summer at least. And CISA 3, we had a good meeting again the other night. And basically, Jamie Nutter's dealing with all of the trying to fill hiring of people for school districts, not only in our CISA, but other CISA 3s, especially for the hard to find positions. So other than that, I don't have anything. So I will take a motion to adjourn.
I will move your adjourn.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you guys all for your time. Being here at all three meetings, this is not normal.
It's just me.
We generally don't. have three meetings.
You were gonna grab mine?